Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome
Hello.
to another fantastic episode of Get Off My Lawn. I am your host tonight, Joe's Doolin, filling in for the masterful Jedi Johnson. We got Styx boy. How you doing, Styx, tonight?
Doing good tonight, thanks. Yes.
Excellent.
How are you doing?
Holding up as well as I can hold up.
Very good.
And then, of
Big
course,
shoes to fill.
the one and only Brucifer, Kingdom of Nerds.
Yay!
Hope after this you go back and catch the rewatch. Let me get our other guy here,
There he
John
is.
Tober. There he is. Now we got everybody in the house, and hopefully my screen will eventually get to the top here, which
I
it won't,
feel
but-
kind of deja vu-ish. We're just like doing something.
Yeah, we were just a little bit ago.
Right, I know.
You know, we did what guys do when we're alone. Oh wait, what? Oh, you're talking about the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no streams crossed.
Streams.
Yeah, I'm losing about half of my screen today for some reason, so I will muddle through. Let's say hi to some of the people in the chat here. Of course, GTK Comics, thank you as always for being the first person always to be in the chat and say hey. We appreciate your ever-loving support and devotion and always being here early.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Had LeBeau. I'm out of ice cream, dang nabbit.
Yeah.
It's always
That
good
sucks.
to have ice cream. Black Spiders. I like it. I have the color version. Okay, you could let us know exactly what color version that is, and that will be cool to know.
There you
go. We got this Rennavision. Hey Pete, how you
French.
doing? Always nice to have Pete in the chat.
Rennavision.
As always, we have AOA lending a wonderful helping hand, letting everybody know to sub up and give BK guff in the chat. Gordon Sisk, GT Key.
Welcome, Gordon.
Hello.
Demon Loy, good to see you in the chats. And of course, BK's here for the fugitive, formerly known as Kyle. But he's willing to stay for the Cardy review today, which
there you go.
I hope he does, because we're gonna run through some Nick Cardy covers today at the request of BK, because we love to take requests here. We like to listen to our chat and try to give them what they want. So
unlike
you gotta give the people what they want.
You gotta give the people what they want. So with that said, let's roll that beautiful bean footage. All righty. So I figure we'll start out today looking at some comics. I added an extra slide in here. Let me get rid of that comment there. Keep forgetting that I'm working on my own here tonight with these comments. So I'm not forgetting about any of you in the chat. I'm just working multiple angles tonight. So with the comic now later, normally, we do 3 that are out now, 3 that are going to be coming later. I threw in an extra slide in there for kind of a NYCC 1 week later to kind of see what's ruminating around and what's kind of hot as well. So
yeah,
let's move into it. So for now, I got the Al Capone Vampire, the Punch 12 homage. Everyone loves a Punch 12 homage. It's not an easy book to find now. I doubt it was probably ordered too heavily by a lot of people until they realized that it's Punch 12 homage, but it's a cool cover. If you like homages to pre-code horror, it's a nice one to have. People seem to be very mixed on it. Some people don't like it at all. Some people like it. I like it, so it's on my list. I also threw in the It's Jeff, the 3rd print The first print came out a couple months ago, more than a couple months ago. And they did a second print. They did a third print. People do love this book and people do love this character. So it's one of those weird, hey, here's a third print we're going to throw out a few months later. So it's one I'm just going to throw.
To, but here, take it.
No, I'm getting a copy and I'm throwing a copy just in the box just for the hell of it, because I have the other copies and I like Jeff Landshark. The other book I threw on here was this Dwellings 2, the 1 in 10. These Jay Stevens covers are always kind of a hit. And this one looks very similar to the A cover, but has the kind of extra blood and gore with the 1 in 10. So these books are normally, I believe Dwellings, just the regular A and B covers are like $10 books, but I do believe they're bigger. I think it's 68 pages. So you are getting more with it. People like Jay Stevens. He had the wasn't a Kickstarter, but it was crowdfunded book a while back. The Dwellings books always seem to do pretty well, and it has kind of a bit of a cult following now. So it's one to keep an eye out for, and it's out now. Looking into the far off future, because everyone else keeps sniping stuff that's in November and December, so I have to dig into January and February. I just like this Dodson cover for the Fire and Ice, the Welcome to Smallville. I like Lobo covers. If you've watched the Hot 10, you'll see that Lobo stuff is still moving. So Lobo seems to be getting some traction. I like Terry Dodson. I'm enjoying the Fire and Ice series as well. Some fun covers on there. And there's some, with this number 4, there's a couple fun Lobo covers on there as well. So something to consider picking up. And this one in the middle, I pre-ordered a lot of copies of these just because I'm a huge Tulote fan. This is Count Crowley, Mediocre Midnight Monster Hunter, number 3. It's just a great Lotte cover. These Count Crowleys, they always have really hilarious covers and some fun stories. So it's one to look out for. It's a really good Lotte cover. So I could see it not necessarily being over-ordered anywhere, because I don't know how many people are ordering a variant cover of Count Crowley, Mediocre Midnight Monster Hunter. It's the all 3 of these, by the way, I believe are all open order that are on here. So nothing's exclusive or ratio or anything like that. And then the Flash 4, the Diodato, that's just a badass cover. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's just a damn good cover. It looks really, really cool. And I think it's going to look pretty cool in hand as well.
Reminds me of the Leviathan and the Abyss when she forms a face.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something with the Speed Force and characters in the Speed Force and all that fun stuff. They like their Speed Force characters, so I'm sure we're going to be getting something new. I haven't started reading. Have you been reading Flash yet? I think didn't one just come out?
I haven't started. I'm still catching up. I am back in August. In the August
yeah,
of my reading.
I know. I'm so backlogged with my reading, but the
streaming is killing my reading time.
Yeah, but they rebooted the Flash series. Restarted it again. So if you're interested in Flash, you can probably pick up copies of Flash 1 out there right now. There were Manly serving of covers for Flash 1.
I know Flash is supposed to go like horror, the way of horror.
Yeah,
so,
and that's what it feels like this character is. So hopefully it's a good series, but nonetheless, it's a really cool cover. So for the New York Comic Con 1 week later, there's a bunch of exclusives. Yeah, there's a bunch of foiled covers of stuff that exists. Yeah, there's more Transformers covers than you could shake a stick at.
I need them.
But I was just kind of looking at this Ryan Otley Invincible cover was moving on the secondary market pretty well. It's kind of a cool cover. I enjoyed it. The big story, of course, of the week, and probably the back end of the con, was these Duke and Cobra Commander ash cans that came out.
Sucks.
They're selling for a good bit of money. They're moving. There's a lot of them moving for good amounts of money. People were excited about G.I. Joe coming. People were excited about little exclusives like this. I think. I hope, except for AOA, more people are excited about the Cobra Commander than they are Duke.
I am the Cobra Commander. I love the Cobra Commander. And I'm pissed off at this because it came out when I wasn't able to go to the con. I went to one day on Thursday, and I know people who somewhat got this and then sold it.
I told you to go Sunday, not Friday. Thursday.
I'd rather go. I want to meet up with people. I was trying to promote things, but man, it just sucks.
I know AOA is always in the chat to to stand for Duke. He loves his Duke. And this Ghost Machine ash can was doing pretty well too. It's not selling for a ton of money, but it's moving around a bit for about $20 here and there, and a decent amount of copies. That's that, I guess, kind of Geiger shared universe that Image is going to be doing. So there was a lot of interest in picking that up and seeing what that was like. So they seem to be moving. That's what I got from my covers.
Nice.
And I'll give you the classy intro here, Styx, for the news.
Thank you. All right, today in the news, as my news loads up here. First off, we've got Top Gun with their live Top Gun: The Next Generation follows a group of U.S. naval students as they train to become fighter pilots in the military's advanced flight training program. Since we had the strike, a lot of these greenlit reality shows are going to start coming in the pipeline. Some of them are going to be good, some of them are going to be bad. This might be good because I think this is something I'll watch. This, of course, was put in here for Mr. Jedi, who is a big Top Gun Tom Cruise fan. I thought he might like this.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting series. It'll be what it is. We'll see how much money they put into it.
Yeah, a lot of I don't know. Maybe people won't watch it because Tom Cruise probably won't be in it. But let's see what happens.
Jet fighter sequences and stuff like that, if the filming is done well, is exciting.
They need Iron Hawk. They need that show from the movie from the 80s, Iron Hawk.
Iron Eagle, you mean?
Iron Eagle with
Chappie? Yeah, Chappie! Chappie!
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw that.
I hesitate to say that's almost better than Top Gun, but they're pretty close in my heart. So, up next, I threw this in UK Channel 4, which is like their sci-fi network type programming. They're going to be doing a Generation Z TV series. Now, Generation Z is kind of a spin-off of the, if you remember the Brad Pitt movie, World War Z.
Yeah.
It's kind of a take on that book
Fast
series.
Zombies.
Yeah.
That's all I remember about that movie.
Very fast zombies.
Very fast zombies.
Yeah. I enjoyed World War Z. I would have loved to see the original cut before they sliced and diced it at the end, but this will be the first, well, maybe not the first. This will be the first kind of zombie series for the UK. Now, they've gotten The Walking Dead, but of course that's a US-based series. And they're getting the new ones, Fear the Walking Dead, and the French Walking Dead there with Dylan, or Daryl Dixon there.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see this. I like a lot of their stuff, so I mean, I'm a huge UK sci-fi nerd, so
That's fair.
I don't know if this
Some of their
interests you
series
guys or not.
No, some of their
Yes,
series
yes,
are pretty
yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
I love the British.
Up next, you know, I have to watch The Boys. I think this being Gen V is renewed for a second season, and I feel like I need to catch up because I think I hear a lot of people talking about this series, and for whatever reason, I never picked up The Boys, and so with this getting renewed for a second season, I think you might see me watching The Boys now because I want to get into this series to see.
It's been really
what
good. I
everyone's
mean,
talking about.
I've really enjoyed the show overall. It's been pretty solid. I've really no complaints so far about it. It's
Mhm.
been as good as The Boys. I mean, even though you don't have the talent, up front in terms of actors, you have a bunch of actors you don't really know. Although isn't one of the kids, isn't the one kid Schwarzenegger's kid?
One is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, it's a bunch of actors you're not familiar with, which sometimes I think it makes it better to get into a story when the actors are all they're decent, they're competent, they're believable. It's not CW-ish in terms of their acting. They're solid. So I don't know. I've been very into the story. I thought it's been pretty good.
Yeah. You brought up CW, and I didn't put it in the news, but this week, the lead singer from Smashing Pumpkins,
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan. He owns and runs the NWA, which is the National Wrestling Alliance. Well, this week they announced that they're going to be having shows on the CW coming in the spring. I believe it's
wrestling news.
Yeah, some wrestling news. I'll throw that in there.
Hey,
I thought that was interesting. Billy Corgan, Billy Corgan. So, Marvel's hit the 4 lead tracking at $75 to $80 million its opening weekend, 50% below the first Captain Marvel, but I don't think there's a lot of people hyped for this movie, which is unfortunate.
I'm sorry if they hit 4-week lead tracking. I don't know. I mean, if it opens well, I mean that's all anybody looks at anymore is the first week. After that, everything except for Barbie and Oppenheimer and Taylor Swift seems to die off.
Yeah. I did not put the Taylor Swift news. I was gonna leave that alone. Yeah. I mean, the first movie, as you see here, it made $153 million on the first movie, and like I said, I don't know how many people are actually too hyped for this movie, but that number might go up as word of mouth comes out.
Yeah, you know what? I doubt it.
If it may, I don't know what is that 50 to 75 to 80 for first weekend. Is that what they're projecting?
Yeah, first weekend.
If it does 80 million in its first weekend, consider it a success. Barely anything is touching over 100. I don't even think Taylor. What Taylor Swift? Bruce, do you remember what Taylor Swift had in that first week?
Her first week
wasn't 96.
Yes, it was 96 because total worldwide it made 130 something. I know it did not beat Joker for biggest opening weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
I thought it might.
If the Marvels comes out and puts in a $75 to $80 million weekend, the Marvel execs should be doing a high five. They should be dancing. So we'll see.
I agree.
Well, I'm gonna go see it opening day. I need to have some concept.
I will too. I Marvel movies.
It's fair.
They're a good, no matter what they are. So, Deadpool 3 has been pushed to a May 3rd, 2024 opening. I think they had it set for February of 24. or late
No,
in
it
23?
was supposed to be March, but I think last I think I read it was November. They pushed it to November.
They're going to take the place of something that's coming out.
Yeah, so it pushed to November. It was supposed to start in. They said first March, but then May. But then because of the strike, I heard November. I don't know how true that is, but kind of sucks. They gotta wait till November now for the shit.
Well, they not finished filming. What do you want?
Yeah, they got to finish filming. They had to stop.
And they don't have actors to be able to film with.
For long. I want to watch these movies before I go.
Yeah, but you got actors on strike. If they can't finish that, because you got to finish the filming to then be able to do the editing and the sound mixing and all the other VFX stuff. So all that pushes everything.
Yeah, unless you're gonna find some guy on the street named Jack Human,
I'll do it. Friggin' man, I'm a man of many tricks and trades. I can do it, man.
Oh, here we go.
Sign him up.
Yeah, here we go, man.
Sign him up.
Right.
Go.
I mean, I think Dom's sentiment is with everyone. We all want to see what goes on in this movie. I definitely want to see what they're doing with this movie.
Oh yeah,
this sounds incredibly bonkers and off the wall for what
I want to see
we hear is going on. So if it all comes to fruition of what we're hearing, I think it's going to be just blow us out of the water of what we get. So
yeah.
Well, it could be a total train wreck.
Or the train wreck goes off the rails and exactly.
It'll be funny nonetheless. I mean, they deliver enough laughs in the first two that they how bad could they really screw it up?
Yeah, the first two were good for that. And lastly, for the news this week, we lost Burt Young, who played in the Rocky movies.
I'm gonna miss Paulie. I'm gonna miss.
Burt Young looked old in Rocky movies when he was young in the Rocky movies. He looked old.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Burt palling around with Rodney Dangerfield, kicking people's asses.
Right. Yep. This game was a little shock to me because I didn't realize. Because, like Dom said, he was old back then. He looked old in those movies, but I didn't realize he was. I think he's just a couple years older than Sly, and I didn't realize that. I thought he was.
You know what's crazy?
Sly. I think he's about 6.
He was older.
He's about 6 years old. He was about 6 years older, I think, than Sly.
Yeah. I thought he might have been 10
back to school.
or more.
Remember, he was back to school with Rodney Dangerfield. He was.
The bodyguard, the limo driver.
Yeah, the bodyguard. And back to,
that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Bert's gonna be missed.
Hey, listen,
Paulie.
Yo, Paulie.
My sister-in-law's grandfather just passed away at the ripe old age of 107. So,
wow.
God bless him.
Yeah, so he had a great life. That man saw 2 pandemics, numerous presidential elections, crazy stuff, man.
Hey, Reef. Welcome to the show.
He's younger than Styx.
Yeah.
Hey, Chef, how you doing?
He almost caught up to me.
All right, we got a game tonight.
What's the game?
Guess that kaiju.
What?
I'm going to give you a simple game for you kaiju fans. Show a picture of kaiju and give you multiple choice. And you can guess the name of that kaiju. So we start off kind of easy.
Easy.
So guess that kaiju. Hedorah, Rodan, Charmander, Robert.
Oh, it's Robert. It is Robert. Yeah. Rodan.
He goes by Bobby.
Bobby the bird.
Bobby Dan.
Give the chat a chance to throw some answers in there, but
Haley says it's Jabberjaw. Yeah, absolutely.
Jabberjaw.
Wow.
Jabberjaw.
Started off with an easy one this week. So
I had Rodan, the toy. The Shogun Warriors back in the day.
The Shogun Warrior one? Wow.
Yeah, I had that.
That's rare.
I know.
Yeah,
I wish I kept it.
The whole kaiju thing is coming back, man. It's
tell me about it, man. Godzilla got 4 things that are happening, man, which is great.
Okay. Guess that kaiju. Is it Godzuki, Uzuki, Minilla, or Big Chungus?
C. Vanilla.
Big Chungus.
Yeah, Big Chungus. That's Big Chungus, baby. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I always love it when he goes this and he gets the smoke rings. Gadzuki, he's great. What do we got here? Baby Gadzuki.
All
Oh,
right.
Gordon asked if you took Rodan out of the box.
No. If it's dumb, no. He kept it in the box.
Yeah, I know. I had it. I played with it.
No.
They were fun. I always loved when I was little. Anytime I got a kaiju type character.
I had the Godzilla Shogun Warrior too. They shut the fist off the hand.
And yes, Craig
the
and X.
fist rare?
This
we're
does
down
look
here
like the
somewhere.
dinosaur from the old show Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yes. This
Grew
is
up.
Manila. This is Manila, everybody.
Yay.
He's so cute.
You know, Super 7 just came out with a 6-inch, 7-inch figure of that Godzilla. That's just the handoff and the tongue. So,
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Welcome over. All right. Next is this lovely creature,
Ooh, baby.
King Caesar?
Thanks.
King Kaiju? King Missile? Or King Ralph? If you're old enough, you'll get the King Missile reference.
I'm in the mood for a Caesar salad right now.
King Cesar.
I remember working at Burger King.
The
when
Lion Kaiju.
King
I remember
Ralph was a
watching
thing.
Terra Mechagodzilla when this came out. When he came out, it was awesome.
Terror.
Yeah. You had Mechagodzilla, then you had Terra Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, it was the first one. Terror.
Oh, you have two.
I know that. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Man, that's it.
Yeah, he was in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
Man,
looks like
see,
he has some
man.
mange.
Come on, man. Don't mess my kaijus. I know them too.
What?
What?
Good
Yeah,
old
I-
King Caesar.
I have all the Marvel
Yeah,
runs,
King Missile.
9/8, the entire 24 issues.
Of Godzilla?
I wish I did. I actually have the whole run with a coverless #1 somewhere.
I thought all your
No.
comments were Star Wars.
You kidding me, man? I talked about things too. Transformers, G.I. Joe, freaking goddamn Thundercats, everything, man. Godzilla.
Just put Godzilla in the Boba Fett.
You know, I thought all your long boxes had one letter, S and B.
Yeah.
Star Wars and Boba.
Boba Fett.
All right. Okay, is this one King Raiden, King Dantai, King Ghidorah, or King Oku no Atama?
See you later.
King Ghidorah.
The 3-headed monster, Monster Zero.
I thought it was the 3-leg monster.
Yo, I tell you what, you party with that, dude. You party with that. If it's female, the 3-headed monster, come on, man.
Well, if you know your Japanese, you will know what these words mean and this word means. So, of course, this is Ghidorah.
Yep, Ghidorah.
Raiten and Dantai means 0 for monster 0.
Monster Zero.
And Okuno Atama means many heads.
Maybe
so.
a 3-headed monster. Damn, Joe knows his stuff. There you go.
Let's put some deep cuts in there for the chat, and you're all sitting
No.
on your ass.
Oh, man, damn. Now,
Shot his
Wikipedia
head
really
tonight.
works right there. Wikipedia.
Freaking wake up over there.
All right, last one. Name that kaiju.
The sea
Is
monster.
it Sakurabi, Isibu, Chijin, or Ibira?
Ibira.
You know, he's got Godzilla went Kaiju when he fought him, man. I say
Yeah.
that. The sea monster.
What the hell?
What, man? You freaking goddamn.
Cajun lobster?
Yeah.
The answer is E, New York City cockroach.
And of course, it is Ibira.
Yeah.
So
Hooray for Kaijus.
Speaking about
Yeah,
Kaijus, I
Kaiju.
was saying that before that they have a 3D animated live action thing coming out with the 50th anniversary of Megalon, the giant roach.
I'll tell you what, between the JLA stuff with Godzilla and Kong, the IDW series with Godzilla, the Monarch series on Apple, the what is it, Godzilla minus zero?
Yeah,
minus
one.
Is it -1?
Yeah.
The Toho one, yeah. Which that one I'm actually very excited to see because it's Toho. It's we're getting a good load up of kaiju here. So
That's what I love, man. Why can't they do that with other stuff too?
You say Kaiju loads? What?
Kaiju love,
Oh,
which is almost as bad.
I misunderstood.
That you got the ordering wrong. First comes the Kaiju love, then comes the Kaiju loads.
I'm about to say Tokyo covered in Kaiju loads. What?
No. So, all right. So tonight we're gonna look through some Nick Cardy, born in ripe old 1920. We're gonna look through some of his amazing work. I can't think of. It's hard to think of another artist that was as prolific as Cardy. I mean, you look for classic covers and you just pages and pages and pages of stuff where you're looking at and go like, oh, Cardy did that. Oh, Cardy did that. So we're going to look at some of his work tonight. It's always good to appreciate the masters. And also when you see a lot of the masters, you then recognize a lot of homages that eventually come out as well. So more than anything, I think Cardy is really known for a lot of his Teen Titan stuff. Some of the best, earliest, well, as early as you're going to get of Teen Titans, from Showcase to Brave and Bold to the series itself, just classic covers that these are a lot of these are wall books that you see that are pricey, but Cardy himself, although he did so much work for DC, got a lot of his start doing Golden Age stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you got some old Planet comics. If you watch the CBSI Hot 10, this book was on there a few weeks back that sold at auction. That's his first published work, Nick Cardy's work, which I believe Styx is going to talk about later when we talk about some prices on some of these things.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Jumbo Comics and Jungle Comics and a lot of the Sheena stuff. And he did some really great Sheena covers. He also did some of the crime stuff. That's a great Police Chases covers as well. His work was broad as well. He wasn't pigeonholed into anything. He did, he would do these good girl covers. He would do amazing superhero covers, did romance covers, crime covers, and a slew of horror covers.
Covers. Jeez.
Some of my favorite series. I love House of Mystery. I love the old Great Adventures and House of Secrets. Those are
Rip
just
Hunter, a time master.
Yeah, I had to throw in a Rip Hunter in there. Why not?
I like that. I like that series.
It's fun. I like the old DC stuff, even though some of it can be a little cheesy.
Absolutely.
I'm a huge fan. So Cardy did a ton of this stuff with House of Mystery and House of Secrets. They had a lot of that old cool kind of horror, kind of sci-fi stuff, which was absolutely phenomenal. He banged out a ridiculous amount of Aquaman covers as well. Some of the best, most classic Silver Age Aquaman covers were definitely done by Cardy.
I think he did the whole run.
He did the whole run?
I believe he did the whole 1, 2, 4,
I know he started at 1.
49.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean every cover out of this run that he is phenomenal. I like the way he draws hair as well. It's nice. Again, with some of the horror covers he did, this ghost cover is still one of my favorite covers of the guy marrying the skeleton woman after he lifts her veil.
Cool. Vincent Price.
His 12 o'clock witching hour covers are all really good and dark too. I mean, just when you see like the stuff that he was doing for Aquaman and you compare it to some of the horror stuff he was doing, he had a really great range. He did a handful of Spectre books as well. And that's just a great Silver 8 Spectre.
He definitely did different styles between you can see with the Aquaman and the horror, because it's not the same.
Yeah. He definitely changed things up. I think he did do a Black Manta cover. I personally love his romance covers. I think they are great, and I'm a sucker for Golden Age and Silver Age romance books because they're absolutely fucking hilarious. The covers are so weird and hilarious. And for example, this Heartthrobs cover, he's basically yelling at her while she's with the baby that if you're going to treat him more important than me, I'm leaving. It's just hilariously weird, disturbing things. The young romance ones as well are interesting. There's a lot of interesting innuendo covers that pop up in romance as well. But again, it just shows that versatility.
Gordon 6 has a question for you in the chat.
I don't know if he did do the.
Yes, he did.
He did. Yeah, he's done so much Teen Titans and so much Aquaman that and Justice League and World's Finest. It's just his bank of stuff. It was hard. I put 28 books in this deck, and it was very, very hard. It took me longer to pick the books than it did to put together the deck because it just kept filtering things out. I'm like, I want to put this in. I want to put this in because there is so much that is amazing. He did that Legion of Monsters cover, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that. But I guess if you look at a slabbed book, you'll see cover by Nick Cardy. It's one of the rare things you see from Marvel from him as well. So it's a pretty classic book. It's one that's always nice to have.
Yep.
Again, he did some great World's Finest. He did Batlash. He did Batlash in Showcase and a few of the Batlash issues that were out as well. Did some great Phantom Stranger covers.
It's kind of me when I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror.
So yeah, he like I said, he's an amazing artist. He's done some amazing, wonderful stuff. I'm gonna throw Bruce up here. Bruce, you have some Cardy books to show?
Sure, why not?
Let me get you.
All right.
There we go.
First up, we have Teen Titans 14.
Nice.
Yes, that is a gorgeous cover.
Not in the best condition, but I love it. We have Superboy 205.
Yellow pops out.
Nice.
Man. Yep.
Both books, yellow really stood out. Those yellows.
We have a Batman 208.
I just love his art. It like I said, it's hard to believe looking at the horror stuff and looking at the superhero stuff that it's the same person that's doing a lot of that.
Superboy 204.
Nice.
Teen Titans 27.
There you go. That's a gorgeous book.
Aquaman number 24. Teen Titans 24. 24? Skis of Death. Teen Titans 26.
It's a nice purple cover. I like that. The blue hair and the purple.
Blue hair. Teen Titans 20. Wait, did I show this one? Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I probably have 2 copies. 27. It's a better copy.
Better copy.
Way better copy.
That's a problem with Silver Age. You find the book that you want and it's in a crappy condition. You're like, oh, I'm going to buy it just so I have it. And then you see one that's like 2 grades higher. You're like, oh, I'm going to buy it because I need a better copy.
Teen Titans 37.
Nice.
This is in really good condition.
Robin always seems to be getting the shit out of
And
covers.
Shazam #1.
Nice. Also Cardy.
Yep. 9.6.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
That book was when Shazam came out. That book was going up a lot, wasn't it? That book when Shazam 2 came out.
Yeah,
it's crazy how many keys.
Yeah,
he's done the cover on.
Yeah, that's the first DC shit.
That's all I could find just by looking.
Yeah, not the faucet.
Yeah, not the faucet.
Although I love the faucet stuff. Thank you for showing your books there, buddy. I appreciate it. It's always good to see that there's Cardy fans out there.
Yes.
Hope everybody enjoyed that section. I'm going to add this up here. Styx is going to do a little market report just to talk about some of the prices on a few Cardy books.
Yeah, I picked out a couple kind of notable books. So right off the bat, Planet Comics #9 from 1940. His first work in comics where he does the cover inks and the pencils on it. Great sci-fi book.
Fantastic book.
A population of, not many really populated. I mean, there's 36 graded, 4 of which are restored, and it runs the gamut.
You get a lot of restored in Golden Age.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And
well, I mean, remember, restoring used to be something that people did. It wasn't looked down upon years and years ago.
Right.
It was a common practice. So you have all these books that are out there that were painstakingly restored, and now they get a shitty purple label.
Yeah.
I'll take a purple label's Golden Age. Damn it.
Sure. I mean, if it's original restoration, yeah. Why not? So for this year of this book, 2 have sold. One sold in September for $52.
Yeah.
Very low.
That was a steal.
That
had to be one of those weird, odd off day.
Mm-hmm.
And
probably ended
at
3 a.m. or something.
If you look for Planet Comics on eBay and you're fishing through, you will see some of the biggest beat to shit books you'll ever see in your life. Half covers, no covers, no back cover, chunks missing, detached cover. You'll see some of the worst conditions possible, and they will still sell. They will sell every time.
I've seen anytime I've looked up some like Golden Age, I always see like coverless books or like missing like 3 to 4 pages in the book, and it's still in like at a $200 auction bid, because people want the pages. So and then one sold in January of this year at Heritage Auction for 264 raw. These are raw, by the way. These are raw.
There's the Heritage one.
Styx likes it raw.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? On this page, I had a 7.0 that sold in 2016. There was a 7.5 off white pages that sold for $1,553 pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. 5.0 that sold, the last 5.0 that sold in February of 22, $3,600, and a 5.5 off-white pages from Heritage.
That's what we got there. And like I said, there was that Heritage sale recently, which that bad boy went up.
Yeah.
Golden Age, you could talk about collectibles going up and down in price, or having, you're just gonna have a box of stuff that's not worth anything. Golden Age is one of those things where you invest a decent amount of money into it, but you get solid, steady year-over-year growth, even though it might only be 2 to 5%. You get it pretty consistently. That very rarely does the bottom drop out of Golden Age in terms of those prices.
And I don't think this is going to be a fair comparison, but like any kind of Golden Age that you get is going to probably fetch something,
Yeah.
And then I kind of would like to compare it to like early baseball cards, where even you pick out the stars and you get left with what you get, but still those stars, because they're in that set and they're such an older, they still fetch money because they're part of that set. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's
I love the name, the Gangbusters, the T-Man. You have Titman, crack the cleaverest counterfeit ring of all time. I know it's counterfeit of all time.
So
I'm just saying, T-Man, we take the cleverest counterfeit of all time, the cleaverest.
So this is Gangbusters number 7. This is Cardy's first DC work where he does the inside story, inks and pencils. He does not do the cover that I'm aware of on this one. It didn't say it in my research anyway.
Yeah, although he did do some Gangbusters covers, I believe.
He did some, but not this particular one.
But not that one, yeah.
Not this particular one. 9 graded, 1 7.5 that's in a restored slab. So not many slabbed on this one, but it's still a banger of a cover and book.
9.6. Wonder what a 9.6.
People love crime. People love
crime.
The Preco
crime books. So I know quite a few police who collect comic books. That's what they go for. They go for crime-related books and stories, and police action type stuff.
It's fun. It's funny because Golden Age has really weird niches. There's hypodermic niches. There's the bondage niches. There's the red dress niches. There's so many that there's people that just collect crime books, people that just collect romance books, people that just do sci-fi. It's so all over the place, and it's weird because it doesn't translate easily to an understanding if you're a modern comic collector.
It's like when in my locker room during lunch, they were either watching Judge Judy or watching Law and Order. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to watch this. We live this. Come on.
Right.
You think you'd want to break?
I guess what you could say to that, Bruce, is they're buying into something that they're putting their life into. I mean, if they're eating, sleeping, and crapping police work, that's what they're going to kind of gravitate in what they collect, right? So they might collect old police badges, or they might, any kind of police paraphernalia type stuff that you can get on the market, right?
Plus,
don't look at me. I'm the total opposite of
that. Some of the covers do tend to be quite hilarious.
When I walk out that door, I'm done with work. I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, that's very fair. I mean, but some people,
you're right. Some people do eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff.
Yeah.
I have a friend that he goes to all the law enforcement conventions just to trade patches with other.
Yeah. I mean, it's not unsimilar to like Disney pin trading. You go to the parks.
Let's not lump people in that weird group.
Well, I know Disney fans are an odd bunch, but I mean
but everyone has their niche.
They love what they collect. So
yeah.
I had an 8.0 that sold in February of this year for just under $100, $99.99.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
2 ungraded this year that sold. One for $29 and one for $44.95.
Yeah, I wish I could get into some of those auctions because every Golden Age auction I get in, I'm in there with 3 dick noses that want to bid me up like crazy. I never get the sweet win of getting something underpriced.
Right. You know, but I mean, you got to ask yourself: You're probably going for a key book.
I was actually in auctions this past week. I was trying to get Fiction House has Cowgirl Romances,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
there were
Sure.
there were a few issues put up by one seller, and the condition was unbelievable. I mean, the pages were like they were off-white, kind of, maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, it was everything. I mean, the spines were pretty clean for a Golden Age book. There was a little bit of, but I mean, they were easy 7s, maybe better, especially with the page quality and no staining.
Right.
And yeah, I got beat up on both.
And for Golden Age, that's you'll pardon the pun, but that's a white whale, right? For a Golden
it
Age
is.
book.
When I'm
above a 7.
Golden Age, anything above a 6, I'm like, I'm giddy. It's
Right.
and the premium goes up exponentially for those as well. And to see those raw, and I was too cheap. And it was one of those auctions that ended at 3 a.m, and I got outbid on both.
Yeah. And the last one I have here, Aquaman #1. Now this is the first time that Cardy is put onto a regular ongoing series. Now he'd done books here and there for DC and a couple other publishers previous to that, but this is his first regular ongoing work. Population on this one is high, being a #1, so we have 1,084 graded copies of this, 9 with a signature, 48 that are restored.
We say that's a high number, and then you look at something like ASM 300, and you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
Well, the telling tale on this one is that there's a lone 9.8.
Yeah,
in this book.
Yeah,
that to me is crazy.
These Silver Age books were read.
Yeah, they were used and abused. I mean, they're not.
And,
it's not the
paper
comic book
quality and
today.
stuff like that, and things. There weren't bags and boards.
No, I mean, Golden Age, even into Silver Age books, you can kind of say it's like kind of the European model where there's no bags and boards, there's no idea of preservation or anything like that. So what you get is what you get with them.
It's like the foreign books today, because the foreign books, people will be shipping those out in freaking vanilla envelopes and in cardboard, just sending it out like that. They don't believe in the boards and stuff like that. But
so on this page, I threw up what the all the grades are here. The highest ones that I wanted to show was that the 5.5 had 92 graded with 6 restored, and the 5.0 had 109 graded with 1 signature 3 restored.
That's why with a lot of Silver Age, if you're above a 6.0, you can kind of always see these distributions a lot. There's a lot around kind of that 5.5 midpoint, and then it starts to get into more rarefied air as you move up. So
right, yeah, and like we said, I mean, once you get past that, like you said, a 6, even a 6, it's hands down better than anything. So,
and I don't care what any of the grading companies say. They grade Silver Age and Golden Age different. They just do. gonna say it right now. When I see a 7 graded in a Silver Age book versus a 7 in some modern, I don't know. It feels very different in terms of what they accept and what they don't accept.
I can't see how you wouldn't really. I mean, it's just different, a different
It's
product.
night and day. Yeah,
It's not, they're comic books, but you're talking paper and the kind of paper that you're getting, because this Golden Age stuff is starting to slowly degrade and get brittle.
Oh yeah,
as you get older. Just like me. I mean, I'm getting old and getting brittle too. So
yeah,
right in front of your eyes.
It's fun because it's a different game, and you kind of have to readjust if you really only exposed to like a lot of modern, or maybe even go back maybe to some bronze. You kind of start to readjust your expectations of things. You get into silver and gold, and it's fun.
Yeah, because people who are and I don't like this term, but 9/8 snobs learn real quick that these books are not going to get 9/8s.
No. And if you like 9/8s in silver and gold, then you either have a really large amount of money and a very small collection, or it's because there's
really
one or
collection.
the other. Yeah,
very small collection. We had some great ungraded raw copies. The last one sold just this month on the 16th, 189.61. Another one earlier this month, 264, and a GD plus. One in August that sold for 103. It had a torn front cover. Then we had a set. I didn't understand. I didn't go into this one. It's a 10-piece set. I didn't know what that was. So
maybe it was a lot. And they just called it.
Yeah, but
set.
it was only 20. It only sold for $20. So that's
sometimes people toss weird stuff. They put bad listings in. They use the wrong pictures, and
yes, they do.
I love searching for misspelled things in eBay.
There's a website that you can go to, and I'll have to look it up again. But there's where you can put in what you're looking for, and then it'll give you all the stuff that people misspell normally.
Darth Maul. I used to look for Darth Maul misspellings all the time.
Yeah,
when I would search eBay. Yeah. That and Rogue One. Yeah. Rogue One. People would misspell Rogue One all the time.
I'll tell you, every time I write out Darth Maul, it'll come out Darth Mail.
Yep.
MAIL. So that's a good one to look for on that one. Those are some other raws that sold this month or in the past. What do we got here? June. $555 at
that's not bad for a fine.
Solid mid-grade. So that's 555.
I'm surprised somebody spent $405 for a 3.
Yeah. When you consider you got that one back here for 103.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What people are spending doesn't always equate to.
No. And eBay is an absolute shit show sometimes in terms of trying to, especially stuff like this, because people list these all kinds of weird different ways with Silver Age and specific books. Maybe they come up every 3 months. Maybe they come up once a month, one book a month or something like that. So it's
some of these books are like that. Yeah. And the other thing is it's who your buyer is at the time of the list. Yep. So like you said, when it's ending at 3 a.m, you're going to get a lot of West Coasters. Maybe you're West Coast, so you just don't know. We had one low 9/6 sale back in 2019 for $38,400 off of the Heritage and a 9/6 off white. And for this, couple 9/4s in 22, one 9/4 for $21,600, and another for $39.95.
Yeah, that's where you start to see the big crazy jumps in value. It's when you get into those 9s in there.
Yeah. Well, that 9/4 there. I mean, that's a 10,000 drop right
Yeah.
1 month later. So
Yeah.
whereas you could have just gone the extra 8,000 and gotten that 9.6 if you have the money.
It's the rarefied air of
Yeah.
the, tens of thousands of dollars of books is an interesting dynamic, to say the least.
Yeah. 9.2 and 22 sold for 11,400, and a 9.0 sold in March of 22 for 6,000.
Yeah, you can see that wonderful CBCS premium you get for having your book graded through CBCS, because it was a pedigree too. That's a shame. It's like CGC, so they say. See, it's like CGC.
Yeah, I did see that. That's crazy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
They put that in there so it shows up when people search for CGC.
Right. That's all. It is just an algorithm. And then a couple other, the last ones here, 8.0 sales. Two this year. 8.0 sold for $2,076, and another 8.0 sold for $3,250, and a lone 7.0 that sold for $760.03.
I just saw a 7 on eBay. It was like they was asking like
More.
$2,000. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's a kick when they start them off high, and like, oh shit, they know it. They know what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yep.
6.0 sales. So a 6.5 that sold for $1,199, and another 6.5 that sold for $552 this year. And then the 5.0, $552 and $635. And I think is this the last page? No, I got it.
Yep, I think so. I think I got one more down. Some of the lower ones. If you want to try to scoop up a copy of Aquaman 1 in a low grade, you're still going to pay $200.
Yeah, $449, a 3.0 and at $280, and then a 2.0 that sold for $280 and $320 this year.
I'll take a CBCS of that.
Thank you very much, Styx. Always
Thanks,
love
guys.
looking at the numbers. It's fun to walk through an artist, then look through some of the numbers. Hey, we could probably do Cardy books all day because there's so many damn keys that he has out there.
Yeah.
Drop this bad boy up here. All right, let's talk some toys.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Tours.
Dom, what'd you see? You were there before the McFarlane
McFarlane
shit show of the previews.
Yeah, the preview book that came out that people are selling for crazy money. It's just pictures of things, but you know what? Those spawn collectors are really crazy, like Disney collectors and stuff like that. They really want all this Spawn stuff.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of figures coming out. A bunch of Joker figures coming out, and some other Spawn and Batman related stuff. I didn't see anything that particular day because I don't think he was there on Thursday.
No, he wasn't there at all. I think his kid was getting married.
He was a company, because he was at Toy Fair. When I went to Toy Fair, I was standing right next to him. Yeah,
he was definitely at Toy Fair, but then had to skip NYCC. They did drop these exclusives while NYCC was going on. They had this cool Joker.
I like the Joker.
They had this nice Batman and Spawn 2-pack.
It's the autograph series too, so you could
get
an autograph inside if you're lucky.
Yeah. I
seen these pictures of these.
Yeah, they get Cygor and I'm sorry, I forget the name of this character. My eyes aren't that good. Somebody.
Everybody loves making gorilla characters, man. Like
Cygor's pretty
merciless.
Yes, it is merciless. That's right. Yeah, which is a really cool, detailed figure as well. That the boxes they put, McFarlane doesn't screw around. I say what you want about him, about signing everything and being a bit of a self-promoter. He makes quality shit.
He does, and it's cheaper than the stuff that, like, his figures have 30-something points of articulation for like $25 or $21. And then you have Hasbro for $30. You got to pay for a figure. And he makes vehicles for the 6-inch figures for cheap. Oh, we can't do that. HasLab has to be a $500-$600 piece of a
I
toy
know.
that they make.
And they got to crowdfund it and then
Yeah,
do
so-
all kinds of gimmicks. Yeah.
I have his original figures, the original ones that came in the plastic with the comic book. I have those. I have all the original ones. Too bad they're not worth as much money that they should be, but eventually they will go up because all the new stuff that's coming out sells.
I just like, I mean, even just from a kid toy standpoint, he puts together nice stuff. The idea of page punchers is just great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a new idea, and it's happened before. You know, Star Wars used to do that. We throw the comic in there as well, but it's just nice for how bad so many modern toys are and how crappy the sculpts are.
The box, he puts pride in the boxes and the pride in all the stuff, the products he does.
Yeah, the packaging, everything. It does a really nice job. Speaking of page puncher type stuff, there's this badass Black Manta that's out, and it does have the comic with it as well. Yep. Which is
these are the 3 and 3/3 figures, the small figures, the vintage style figures. I think those are.
The Black Manta is quite nice.
I like the look of this one better than the one they put out previous for the page punchers.
Yeah, and I think they're putting. I think McFarlane for what is it for 2023? I think is doing putting out some more Aquaman stuff in the like the Justice League type series with the more cartoony packaging, the blue with the red, all those figures. And I think,
the superpowers,
superpowers ones, yeah. And I think they're doing some. I think they're doing some Batman Beyond stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
So that is coming, but these exclusive dropped weekend of the con, so I'll give McFarlane his due. He's making Hasbro look like a big pile of shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies and germs, for our last segment here, which is kind of just an open, let's bullshit around and talk about stuff segment, we even have a wonderful brand new intro.
Like that. I like that. It's kind of funny. I think I had a station wagon like that myself too. I had a 1979 Plymouth station wagon. I remember my dad had.
How many times did you crack your skull against the side and in the back when father's angry, hanging hard rights and hard lefts?
Well, I can tell you this. Back in the day when I grew up on 117th Street, my dad had a Cadillac because most of the guys, the Italians in the neighborhood had Cadillacs back when I was growing up. But yeah, he had a station wagon most of the time. He had a few station wagons, and the 1979 Plymouth station wagon he had was a fun ride. When I first started driving, I took it, hitting bumps like crazy. That shit won't fall apart because that's what was made. Cars were made not to break back then.
You put a goddamn mattress in the back there,
I know.
and just you know, I remember being crammed in the back with 7 or 8 other kids going places, and they would just throw you all in the back. Seatbelts, fucking seat. Half people didn't wear seatbelts to begin with.
I know.
If you sat in the back, anywhere behind the front seat, you sure as shit weren't wearing a seatbelt.
All I can tell you this is that I was in the back, in the trunk area, in the back of the station wagon. My mom is smoking, my dad is smoking, they're driving, and they're both fucking puffing away, and I'm all inhaling all that stuff.
On the bus in the middle of winter, they maybe had the crack in the window.
Hey, all they do is smoking. Crazy.
Oh yeah. The ashtrays overflowing. That was always the great thing I loved about the Cadillacs is you had the cigarette lighters in the ashtrays in the back seat too.
Yep.
Yeah. Those were always nice.
But enough of that. We're talking about some handheld electronics that we grew up with.
Yeah. So I threw a handful up here just to kind of start the discussion.
Wow.
And please bring up any others that you can think of.
Now, I want to tell you this. I had all of these. I had them all.
I never had the Atari Touch Me.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
I had them all.
It was hilariously named, so I had to put it.
You know what? Well, Atari Touch Me reminded me of Simon Says.
And it basically was. It
Yeah,
was like the Pocket Simon, but with the more click to the buttons.
The top corner on the right, the mini video games with Mr. Arcade. You really like those games. Stand back, and he shrunk down the games. I love those games.
Those were so much fun.
Oh my god! You know, the downside is that where I moved, the landlord's son was a druggie. He broke into the basement, took out the stuff. I had the Frogger and the Donkey Kong. He took them. I would have still had those shits today if he didn't take it. But I had so much fun. I had the Pac-Man. I don't know what happened to the Pac-Man, but I remember playing Donkey Kong and on the Frogger. I kept doing the Frogger, just playing it. They were fun games.
And the thing is, playing it on the small scale, it wasn't that much different than playing it on the big. It was just as enjoyable. And you could take it with you.
You know, playing that all the time until the batteries died. You had to get new batteries.
Oh yeah. I remember my parents bitching at me all the time, like, I need some batteries.
Yes.
God damn
Stop wasting batteries. You keep playing the game. Like the handheld football and baseball games. I had those.
I played those. I took those. Man. Every car ride I was in, probably from the time I was 6 to the time I was probably about 11, I had one of those in the back seat. And I'm sure my father hated me for hearing the click, 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 click with the football one all the time.
Man, it was fun. Remember they had the dual football? You could play each other? They had that.
Head to head.
Yeah, they had the head to head. The baseball one was always great too. It was always fun.
Yeah.
I had to throw in the old Donkey Kong watch because I remember kids having the watches when they first came out.
Remember to flip the game? It was like a flat game. You flip the top of the screen, and it was like that. It was a clock, but it was a handheld game. They had that one too.
But the little Donkey Kong I remember those, and it just being impossible in the sunlight to be able to see what the hell was going on and play them.
Yeah.
And it was the same with those Double Dragon games. They used to have Paperboy like that as well.
Yep.
And I had to throw in a Merlin because I hadn't seen a Merlin in forever, and I saw that. I was like, oh shit, a Merlin.
I love that game.
You know, the digital derby reminds me of pole position. Remember
the digital derby was great because I had one of those. Because number one, you had the steering wheel.
Yes.
Which was fun as hell. And it was basically just on a tape. You know, it was just running stuff on a tape. But when you wrecked, there was the brightest red flash from underneath, and it would show the explosion. Oh, it was great. You know, it was such fun. A remedial technology, but so much fun.
You know, you can go into the bathroom, you go anywhere and play these games with no problem. Now people on their phones playing Candy.
And it was great. Yeah. I mean, you could stuff them anywhere, and they were dirt cheap.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, those handheld the Donkey Kong and Froggy games, I love those, man. If I could have those games again, I would definitely have. They had a whole bunch. They had Millipede. They had Galaga. They had Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I don't see on here is I used to have a handheld Pac-Man. It came it was like a yellow Pac-Man with a display on it.
I remember that one.
Love that. That's
nice.
Still in my
Crucifer. You never had these games? You had
not really. I had more consoles. I wish I had consoles. I really didn't have any.
Yeah, but this is before consoles, man. You're up there in age.
Maybe before consoles.
Come on.
Yeah, it's talking about
Atari. Okay, you had the Atari and television. You had
Atari, Nintendo.
Yeah, but look, these games were out before Nintendo.
Some of them.
I never owned a Nintendo as a kid. I bought my kids stuff, but that was in 2012. I had an Atari 2600 and I had a Commodore 128. And that's what I played games on for years until I went to college, and then we had a Sega there, and then I just played NHL 94.
I had the Atari 2600. I had the 5200. I had Coleco. I had Jaguar. I had Intellivision. I had Nintendo. I had Sega. Shit, I had what else did I have? I had I never had the PlayStation. Never had the PlayStation. Never had the Xbox. I never bought any of those. When I was younger, I had the games. I don't like playing games now. Like the Nintendo Duck Hunt was my favorite game. That
I was never home as a kid. I was always outside doing
Always out playing,
something
exactly.
or doing something. So these were always great because it'd be like, hey, going to grandma's this weekend. You'd be like, oh shit. And just tuck a couple of those away. And it
Donkey Kong. He says AOA said Donkey Kong with 130 without box.
yeah, they still got them, you know.
The only handheld games I had were these.
Oh yeah.
Game Boy Color,
Yeah. Yo, those are worth money. Those are the
Game
original
Boy
ones.
Pocket,
Are those even yours?
and
Man.
Game Boy SP.
Yes.
I had those as kids. These aren't mine. These are someone else's that's over there.
That's
Interesting.
over.
Yeah.
But I had
I said hi.
Oh, Captain. Styx said hi. He said hi.
I never had a Game Boy. I was always jealous of people that they did. Yeah, I was blowing shit up and hunting squirrels.
You
Yeah.
can take me off the big screen. Yeah.
Oh, you got it, bud.
Yeah, you see the game here, the Nintendo game, the one that flips up. There was games like that flipped up earlier, and it was the screen with the character was the black. You couldn't see it, and you played. It had different ones. It was orange, green, and they had all the Nintendo games like that. Mario Brothers, freaking Dig Dug, freaking Mr. Do.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Dude's Wild Ride.
Yeah.
They're perfect because it was. I mean, we
You
still
know,
had arcades.
you can emulate those old arcade games, right? On your
I
PC.
know, but you know what? It doesn't bring back the memories that when I played.
I got
I want to go back to the 80s. Fuck that shit, man. I'm leaving you guys.
25,000 games on my hard drive over there.
I tried, you know, I at one point I just bought my kids just so they'd have something to plug into a TV if we went somewhere. It was just an Atari joystick that was an emulator, and it was loaded with like 50 Atari games. And I used to love playing River Raid, and I was like, I'm gonna go play some River Raid. And I was like, after about 5 minutes, I was like, I'm done playing River Raid.
Yeah.
Shit, man. There was a game in Coleco that I played. It was a war game where you have to like battleships and stuff like that. And I went over the top to score. I got to the point where the digits went from way up there all the way back to 0. And I was amazed that I did. I was like, oh shit, I went over the top of the game. I was like, well, happy.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of days later, they stole my game system. Somebody came in and robbed my house. And my mom was sleeping. No, kidding. This is a true story. My mom was sleeping, and me and my brother went to work, and we came back. My Coleco was gone. There was a big oil footprint in the floor, and my games were still underneath the cabinet. They never took the games, but they took the Coleco, and that was last my Coleco. But yeah, I figured somebody came, like 2 guys came in and broke into the house. When
was it Coleco or was it the Intellivision that had the controller that had the little paddle and then the number pad underneath it?
That was Coleco.
Yeah. I think they both did. I think Intellivision had one too.
I think the Coleco
Atari had one as well. So
well,
I liked the tactile feel of those buttons on those controllers. That was cool.
Those controllers back then were made to last. The controllers today, they break freaking easy. They're so expensive.
Yeah, mine doesn't break. I haven't had a controller break.
Well, you know what? I used to throw
Unless I threw it against the wall. Why playing?
Well, yeah, if you're not gonna
son of a bitch.
throw it.
You throw it across the room and break it.
Yep.
Oh, you'd always go to some kid's house where they had an Atari 2600 where the joystick had the black part off of the top and it was just the white clear plastic underneath.
The button with a little off center or sticking.
Yeah, or the dog had chewed the living hell out of the top of the joystick.
But it's kind of funny. I went to a friend's house and the friend had the joystick and the thing was like, look, it was chewed up. I told him, Chucky, dude, what are you fucking chewing this shit? Why is there freaking holes in the freaking the joystick? I'm like, man.
Good times.
Those are good times. There were less problems back then, man. There was problems that we never had to face. It was.
Kids are amazingly spoiled in terms of the quality of entertainment and games that they have now. I don't know what I would have done I would have been like the kids now where I wouldn't have been able to leave a screen. If you show me something like what the graphics look like now and how immersive it is and just everything all around, I wouldn't have left.
So you got virtual reality. You could actually grab boobs in video games.
I would have been in a basement all day playing video games. I was like, this is amazing. But you know, when when you throw ET in the old Atari 2600, you're like, oh, this is a
God, that
piece of
was
shit.
horrible. That
gonna
game
go
is
out and run into a
stupidly
creek.
expensive.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Well, the
Yeah.
games today are stupidly expensive too.
No, but back in the day, you had the Star Wars game. It was like stick figures, and you're playing Star Wars.
Oh, I did love. I had the Empire Strikes Back game for Atari, which was fun because when you would get the Force, it would play the song and the screen would light up, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah. If for the Game Boy, if you bought the Rogue Squadron, it had a disc in the back that had all those Atari games on it.
Oh, nice. I mean, they were for the time. They were fun.
Well,
Good
thing for me, I never stopped playing video games. I love video games. And I still...
Nice.
This is mine. Not someone else's. Don't touch.
You're not giving that away for 200 subs?
No.
Speaking of that, please go over to Kingdom of Nerds YouTube channel and please help Bruce get to 200 subs. He's so close. So if you haven't subbed to his channel, please do it. There's great content on Mondays and especially Fridays because I'm on Fridays with him.
I'm on Monday and Friday, so you get the best of both worlds.
But no, it's fantastic. Comic, entertainment, news, all kinds of fun collectible stuff. Good shows, good stuff. So
I gotta throw some cassette tapes in there for Jedi.
We have some good prizes ahead, this and that, 200 subs. Come on.
Yeah, I'll probably give a Star Wars slab away when I reach 200 subs.
Nice.
I think it's a what's the latest series? The Set in the Past, High Republic, #1.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So you're gonna possibly do cassettes at some point for Jedi?
Yeah. I got talking about cassettes with Max. He went and picked up quite a few cassette tapes at his local thrift shop.
I love
they were
it.
10 for $3 or something like that, right?
I hated the technology because they would wear down and they'd start to fray and you'd have to use the pencil or a pen and tighten everything up and do all that. But the packaging itself, I enjoyed. The inserts, remember, you used to get song lyrics in your goddamn cassettes. You'd roll that son of a bitch out. It had every song, all the lyrics, some cool pictures of the band. There was always cool shit in there. Now I don't know. With digital music, I don't know. It's why I like vinyl too. There's something nice about things that are tangible. That's why I don't read comics online.
I can give away a Cardy at 200 subs.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I give away a Cardy and a slab at 200 subs.
Yeah. I just went to the vinyl, the record store in Rochester, New York, right near me here, and they had, the place was packed with vinyl, and they had Laserdisc and cassettes and whatever.
I'm seeing more cassettes and there's a few record places I go to, and there's small sections now where they're starting to put cassettes. Because if you have everything for the cassette, if you have the insert for it, I don't know. I kind of miss it because that was the sweet spot of when I was growing up. I had vinyl when I was really little, and I had 45s and stuff like that. But that's right when cassettes started to get popular. That's right when the Walkman came out. And once you had a Walkman and realized you could throw on a headset and not have to listen to your mom bitching at you for something and just listen to music. And God, when they put the auto flip in and it did the auto reverse and would play the other side for you, and you didn't actually have to take the tape out. Had me sold. Yeah.
I remember making my own freaking tapes, which was awesome for my Walkman.
Oh, all the time.
Making mixtapes, yeah.
Mixtapes was awesome.
Yeah,
recording off a Hot 97 back in the 90s.
Yeah, the CDs. The CDs had the books too, but the problem I had with the CDs is the books inside always slid out so damn easy. Yeah. It was so easy for them to fall out, and so many people just said, "Screw it! I'm not keeping this packaging. I'm gonna get the weird pleather black book." And
that's what I got.
Slide home.
Yeah, that's what I got.
In there. Or the dash, the one that goes on the.
I had four of those big books. 4 of those big books full of CDs, front to back. and then I had a couple of crates full of CDs. When I sold my CDs, I got about $4,000. I spent a lot of money on my CDs.
Wow.
Really, I lost a lot of money, but I remember the Columbia House, the 1 cent. They're looking for you.
I just remember the ridiculous amount of plastic
Yes.
anti-theft stuff that they used to put on the cassettes.
Yep.
When you'd pull it out and it would be in the plastic, and then there'd just be a long thing of plastic with it too. It was crazy. But yeah, it's like I said, you're going to see more people collecting it. I don't know about 8-tracks. I'm sure people do collect them, but
I get certain things. Like I got Styx, obviously, and then some Star Wars 8-tracks and Elvis and things like that I'll listen to.
It's one of those technologies where it's really just it's hard to find a player for it. Like you can find an old boombox to play a cassette. It's hard to find an old 8-track player that's not an absolute piece of shit.
8-track player. My Johnny Mathis and friggin' Engelberg Humperdinck. My mom used to listen to.
Johnny Mathis. That man made more old women wet than
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, every time back in the day, anybody, grandparents' house you went to, whatever, they just loaded with Johnny Mathis. He must have been
my mother loved Johnny Mathis. Listen to Johnny Mathis, Smokey Robinson,
Perry Como.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got
freaking Engelbert Humperdinck. Come fly in my beautiful balloon.
Let's see if I think I got a winner sitting in here somewhere.
Tom Jones. What's up, pussycat?
Here we go.
He used to have like a can inside his pants, shaking it in front of the women. Tom Jones used to put a sock or a can in his pants to entertain the women in the front when he's in the doing concerts. Look it up. Look it up.
Let me pull this bad boy up here. This gentleman right here. You know who that is? That is Mr. Wayne Newton.
That's Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton cousin.
That is as young as you will ever see Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's fantastic album. And
20 there, right?
The fold out is wonderful of him with a horse.
Oh,
you can't beat that. You cannot
horse.
beat.
Look at the size of that penis.
That poor horse.
I'm sorry. I do it all the time. Every time I'm in a thrift store, my wife likes to go to thrift stores and look for stuff. And every time I'm there, I'm like, okay, I don't want to look at this. I don't want to look. I just go right over to where there's albums and go through albums and vinyl. And then I go to look at electronics and see what's there.
The one that I found at the place that I went in Rochester, I went through all the dollar ones. Of course, there's a lot of Christmas, a lot of that old 50s and 70s, twang. But I did find I don't know who the first album or the second album. I found a Grateful Dead for $1.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, I'm gonna grab that.
Yeah, it's crazy what you'll find because people just throw away so much shit now, and just your kid leaves for college, and now they're in their 40s. The adults, the parents getting old, and they're clearing out their houses. They're going to retirement homes, stuff like that. They're just giving shit away to Goodwills, to stuff like that. You just got big lots of stuff going out, and nobody's looking at it. And it's going to thrift stores. It's going to stuff like that. And sometimes if you're smart and you work at a thrift store, you fish through that stuff first. But a lot of those people that work at thrift stores are kids and stuff like that, and they don't know some of the older stuff. They don't know what's in there. You can find some definite winners there. So good stuff. Good stuff. So I think we can wrap it up a little early tonight, boys.
Go out to the bar.
Any words of wisdom for Friday night, Styx?
Yeah, I'll say one thing, that when you're involved in a fight, stay low and don't get in everybody's way.
That works.
Okay.
You can work with that.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom right there.
Dom,
Styx, man.
Dom, some final words for Friday.
Yeah, my word of wisdom is please don't collect everything under the sun. My hoarding ways and my my collecting ways were just thrown in my face by Giggle Fett. She told me all the stuff you're talking about. That means you had a problem a long time. So I did.
It is. We're kids. We were fed shit in a way that no other generation was fed. I mean, just think about it. We were given a cartoon to consume. Then we were given a toy because we really loved that cartoon. Then we were given normally we were given the toy first, then the cartoon.
Sometimes.
And then you were fed breakfast cereal that was sugary as shit with that character on it.
Yep.
Then you go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal because they were promoting that character.
McDonald's.
And you'd go get a comic book that had that stuff, or it was fed into us in every single way, and it gets into you after a while.
Look, after a while, you can only do so much. We all love to collect, and there is a thin line between collecting and hoarding.
I will say, if you're an '80s kid, even '70s, really, I think you'll have had something that had this.
Oh yes,
there.
The Smurfs.
Oh yes.
Anybody,
be it a cup from one of the glass cups that they would give away at like Burger King or McDonald's, to the little PVC Smurfs, to you name it.
I had
Rapper Keeper.
I had all those PVC Smurfs. I had them all. They're probably worth money.
Yeah, you had a problem.
The Prego, all the French ones. Yeah, they were. I used to have them all the time too. It was also easier when you were a kid because you could go to the store with your parent and you could get a G.I. Joe guys were, I think they were like $269 at most when I was a kid.
Maybe $3.
I mean, your parents weren't shilling out, $80 for a video game, or, and then $100 a week on upgrades.
Those toys would never sell if they were the price mark they are today.
I'll tell you this one thing. My parents got me everything I ever wanted for Christmas, except one toy. One toy eluded us that I never got.
The vibrator?
The toy was called Terron. And I never got it. It was like I think it's nothing can stop this evil man. It's Terron. It's like a Triceratops. Styx. Google Terron. You'll see. Terron is a toy that I never got growing up.
We're gonna have to throw a slide of Terron in for next week.
Yeah.
I will say this: if you go to garage sales, do not pick up everything you see, because you'll end up being stuck with stuff like this.
What'd you get? Oh, don't buy Hess trucks. Oh, they're a dime a dozen.
It was like $1.
That's 99 cents too much.
That's the one problem with.
That's
the same problem with thrift stores. It's like I'm looking through albums and it's like, wow, they're only $1 each, and I will buy the weirdest, craziest shit, and I will just be like, I don't even think twice about it because I was like, it's $1, I'll throw it in there. Why not?
You know how many times I've gone to like a thrift store and let's hear the Styx album. I'll just only $1. I'll have like 5 copies of the same book or the same album, and like, I guess so. Someone will want them.
I just happened to be on Whatnot the other day, and the guy was doing like DC books. He had no idea what he had. Whitman's, he had newsstands. He was throwing them up for $2. I'm like,
that's why I don't understand. I don't understand why when people go on Whatnot, they go to the people that have like 200 people in a room. I was like, I look for like 3 or 4 people in a room. I'll go in, I'll see what they have, and hope that there's something in there. And if not, I pop to another room that has 3 or 4 people. Yeah, the people that go into the rooms that have like 200 people, I was like, what the hell are you doing? You're doing it wrong.
They are.
Yeah, but those rooms are fun. Those and the people that'll just throw books on. Like I said, early days of Whatnot, there was a guy that was like every bid that would go up, he would throw in another book. But he just got to the point where I guess he just wanted to unload a lot of his shit too. And it was like a lot of mid-grade Doctor Strange, older Doctor Strange and stuff like that.
Ooh, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I was happy with it. And I think I got it ended up being like 65 Doctor Strange books for, it was like $60.
At one point I was getting, beginning of the year, I was getting a lot of DC Universe variants for like $2, $1 on what.
You had to feel like you were doing something wrong.
Yeah, I know, just like. And then
Should I
I ended
say
up getting
something?
those collector's packs. Some
Yeah.
of those packs go for between 300 to 800.
Oh yeah, they are.
And I got
Mhm.
7 of them for $700. I was like, oh, I'm a one seller. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's timing, and I don't know. Has anyone fooled around with eBay Live yet?
No, I'm still married.
I can't. I haven't fooled around with it. I know some of the con exclusives sold some volume. I think
I remember one day going
using
to
eBay Live.
one of the stores we have in the Lower East Side. We have a lot of places, like the Goodwill places, and they have like magazines and stuff. There was one time I went in and they had a whole stack of old, like 1970 and 1980 Playboys. You know,
Oh, nice.
But I'm not gonna freaking buy those.
Well,
I mean,
I
they
just
got
I miss
black light to those issues.
There used to be consignment places I used to go. They would have magazine boxes just full, like a garage full of magazine boxes of old 40s, 50s, 60s magazines. You'd find everything in there. Old Esquires with amazing pinup art. But everything you name it, and everything was so dirt cheap. And now none of those places exist because people have cleaned out all that stuff by now.
Hey
So.
Joe, you and Brucifer, your key comic predators.
Predators.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell them.
yeah, no.
Hey,
The guy said, "Oh, I got a collection, and it's full of DC. I don't know anything about DC. I'm just gonna put it up for $1 or $2." I'm like, okay.
Actually, and I'm going to buy those things.
I will take DC Whitman variants.
Don't forget,
Thank you.
pictures like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, people got to know what they're selling.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then, 1 or 2 books might slip through the cracks, but when somebody's just selling a bunch of garbage, I don't know. I don't know whether to feel bad and say, hey, maybe you should not sell these for that price. But at the same time, it doesn't take much. There's plenty of free online resources to look at a couple books. You could just go onto eBay and look at a couple books and understand some of what you have and do better. So give a man a fish.
Actually, I should give away Hess trucks.
Might as well give it away for
They
Christmas.
still won't go.
Hey, I know somebody, a friend of my brother's have every Hess truck from the beginning to now.
I think I've seen a Hess that went out of business and they still had Hess trucks in the building.
The space shuttle was cool.
I think
They abandoned it.
They still sell them at
Well, it was in
7-Eleven.
the crawl
I think.
space.
Yeah.
I used to play with the Hess
They were
trucks
holding
with
up
the Transformers. The Transformers used to be the size of the Hess trucks. So you used to play the Transformers.
You're using the plug up the holes, keep the mice out. Well, Bruce, any last words? Give our guests some last words of wisdom before we truck on out of here.
For all you guys that say you haven't read modern comics in 10 years or 20 years or whatever, pick up a book and read it, please.
Yes.
The stories are really good. Art is amazing, and DC is top dog. Just saying.
There's something. I mean, I will say, not since back in the days of Vertigo and Underground Comics and stuff like that. I don't think there's been a better time to find a lot of amazing variety in comics. If you can't find some type of story out there that wets your whistle, I would be amazed. From indies to, you don't have to, everything's not about going out and buying 1-100 ratios, at inflated values. There's good stories, there's good indies. And if you pre-order your stuff before FOC, half the time you get a 30% discount off of that. You can get books for $2-3 just that you want to read with a good story and stick with it. So that's my 2 cents for the week. And Bruce dipped out, but oh, there he is.
There it is. Yeah.
I thank everybody for muddling through with me with Jedi's absence. We all miss Jedi, and hopefully he will be back. I know he's not going to be back next week, but the week after, and we can get him back in the fold and have the full Voltron assembled. And
exactly, and don't forget Sunday night. I don't know if Jedi is going to be on Sunday night on the Star Wars show, but I will be there. 9:15 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, you got a load of content out there. You got SNS tomorrow night on Rennavision, Tales from the Dark Side Sunday on Rennavision. Kingdom of Nerds has an amazing Monday show. Check it out. They have a great cast of characters on there,
A lot of characters.
including there's that character right there. So it's a great show. And then Wednesday got TAC. Friday, as always, there's the CBSI Hot 10, Brucifer's other show, which leads in at 7:00, so you can get in early, see an amazing flaming 10 of amazing flaming great covers that are out there, hand curated by Bruce, and they're always winners. And stick around after the top 10 for us next week. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming in. And with that,